So, hello there, everyone, and welcome to today's second Bizagi Community Hangout. After the roaring success of the last Hangout, welcome to this, the second one. Just to recap, the idea of the Hangout is a place to come together around a common area of interest. We will share some content as well as provide an opportunity for you to ask questions and spend time with the product team. On which note, if you have questions as we go through the discussion today, please add them to the questions area in GoToMeeting, and we will try to answer them as we go through. Now, we want to introduce you to today's topic, which is machine learning or AI. And I'd like to introduce you to the presenters today. So I'm Mark Stanier. I'm part of the product marketing team here at Bizagi. My role today is to act as compare rather than be an expert. And in this slide, I'd like to introduce my colleagues, Andrea and Diego, and to let them say a few words about themselves and their roles today. Andrea?
Hi, welcome everyone. I am Andrea Dominguez, Bizagi's whole product manager, and I am very pleased to be here today introducing our artificial intelligence capabilities. So just for your information, I am no expert in the subject, but thanks to these amazing features you will get to know today, as a business user, I'm able to use artificial intelligence and incorporate it to my processes. Of course, I'm relying on the outcomes, and I am making better decisions. And the most important for me, I can do so with very little knowledge, without any complexity, and of course with no coding. So it might sound amazing, even a little impossible, but you're about to see it's true.
Hello, my name is Diego Barra, and I am the Research and Innovation Director at Bizagi. My team was in charge of developing the initial prototypes of these products. I hope you enjoy.
And so what will we cover today? If we could move to the next slide, Andrea. So this slide shows how our technology stack fits together, with our on-premises products shown across the bottom, and the top section showing our cloud offerings and the extra services that we can provide because of and in the cloud. In the last session that we presented, which you can view on demand, we covered modular collaboration services, enabling modular users to collaborate on their models with colleagues and other interested parties through the cloud. Today, we want to cover another part of our cloud offering, which is artificial intelligence, as we said. As the chart shows, AI is a service that is currently only available in our cloud infrastructure. And just for clarity, it relies on the data set's capability, which is also shown here. I need to be clear here as well. Our current AI capability is our first iteration of adding this functionality. And part of the desired outcome for us today is to learn from you how you would like us to develop and build on what we have created so far. So please, again, if you have any questions or if you have anything that you'd like to raise with us, please ask your questions in the questions bar. So, what is artificial intelligence or machine learning? So machine learning is a way of applying statistical analysis to data sets to gain a user-defined outcome that can be tuned by interaction with the model to maximize its accuracy. Sounds quite complex, and it's even quite hard to announce. But in Bizagi, we've created a user-friendly way of interacting with the data sets and the models to allow users the ability to add artificial intelligence into their processes. And the outcome of this capability, and the reason you might want to add this, is because you will be able to increase process efficiency. And by this, we mean that it's possible to provide suggestions for users based upon intelligence. For example, what might the next best action in a process be, based upon some interactions that you've had with a customer or with some incoming information. To analyze large data sets, giving an insight into behavior that humans may not themselves be able to see. This gives the potential for adding intelligence-based probability scenarios to business processes or actionable insights. It is also possible to use this technology to detect fraud by analyzing patterns in data to suggest fraudulent activity or to lower business risk by having better insights into large data sets. Again, something that humans would struggle to do because of the sheer amount of data that you need to be able to view. This capability presents the opportunity to learn about your business in far more detail than otherwise would be possible. But something with this potential sounds really complicated, right? Obviously, the best way to learn about this and to highlight this is not the case, is to talk to the experts, which is, again, is not me. And in that light, I'll pass over to our resident expert, Diego, who will explain what machine learning is and how we utilize it in Bizagi. Over to you, Diego.
Okay. Basically, here we use our traditional Bizagi processes, but with a small difference. We need to identify a single point where our data is final. So we can persist a record in datasets. Dataset is another cloud service for Bizagi that allows us to define tables so we can load up entire CSV files or just feed data from Bizagi processes using connectors. Later on, when we have enough data, we can use it to create machine learning model in our website. With a very few clicks, we'll be ready to go, and the model will be automatically configured for us. But behind the scenes, Bizagi created a full machine learning model workflow that processes all the data and generates a prediction model for the final user. It is possible to customize the model if we know a little about data science. We are going to see something about that. When the model is ready, the next step is publishing an endpoint. So the prediction will be available for REST clients and for Bizagi itself using connectors. A Bizagi process can use the prediction to render suggestions to the user or, in some cases, to alter the flow of a case. Right now, we're going to see some use cases. First of all, we can learn from customer knowledge. With datasets and machine learning, we can use the data in each case and create a knowledge base automatically where the machine learning algorithms will be learning constantly in order to predict values. For instance, in a help desk process, when a customer has a problem, we can create a model to predict if that ticket must be escalated quickly in order to improve the customer satisfaction rate. Secondly, we can add suggestions to the user. Based in processes data or just custom data, Bizagi can create a model just to add some suggestions in the screen. An example of this can be a transaction verification process that could suggest to the user to perform an intensive analysis to that operation because it could be compromised. And three, we can estimate the customer's lifetime. This is another perfect example of machine learning capabilities, and luckily for us, this is the demo we are about to see.
Right. So you have been introduced to the artificial intelligence theory. So let us see it in action. We will use a real-life example to see how Bizagi's predictive analytics can help decision makers in any type of processes. In this case, I will be talking about a customer onboarding of a telco company. We will be working as a sales representative where the data is included in the request, then it is sent to the artificial intelligence model where the answer will be returned and it will be the tenure in years. This answer can help us ensure that the customer churn can be prevented. So the ones with a low tenure can be treated differently and will helping ensure in the company that we don't lose those customers because you know how retention is a lot cheaper than acquisition. So let us see artificial intelligence in action. What you're seeing right now is the sales representative work portal. So me, as an end user, a sales representative, I will fill in some customer information of a new contract. So let us do that. In this case, I will be filling in the information as if Diego was my customer and he is onboarding with us. So I will fill in Diego. He is 27 years old.
I am younger.
Very young. He doesn't have any kids. He's not a senior citizen. And we will fill in some basic contract information. So he will be paying by bank transfer, no premium support. We will be charging maybe $130 a month with some internet services, but not all of them, and some telephone services. As soon as I click on next, we will be submitting this information to our artificial intelligence service, and we will receive an answer that will be predicting this customer, Diego, behavior, like a tenure in years. So let's do that. All this information I have mapped in Bizagi Studio, which I will show you in a second, and then the artificial intelligence returned a value. As you can see, we got 3 years in tenure. This is actually telling us a lot. We're seeing how Bizagi can determine, based on the information that I entered, how likely this customer is to be retained with us. But it does not end here. With the help of this information, me as a sales representative can take actions. So I have created an action that you can see as a button where the predicted tenure, when the predicted tenure is less than 4 years, I turn on this action and I can launch a process to track the customer and pamper him and track him down. So let us enter some information. So we will call Diego in maybe 2 weeks, and we will send a souvenir, because who doesn't like souvenirs, right?
Yeah, I like souvenirs. Cool.
So this is all very part of a single thing in a case. We have a tenure in years, 3 years, and we are tracking Diego to make him stay longer with us. But very fast, let us see another case that I have already created, where we have a tenure of 9 years. And you can see how the action here is not shown, the one to track the customer. And why not? Well, because it is not necessary to pamper a customer who will most likely be with us for a long period of time. So this is the end result. This is how artificial intelligence works. We send some information to the artificial intelligence service, and we get a prediction to make informed decisions. But now let us move to how this was built. So Diego mentioned that artificial intelligence relies on Bizagi Cloud datasets. So let us just have a quick recap. Bizagi Cloud datasets are data storage, and these are meant for data analysis, such as reporting, data mining, and in this case, of course, machine learning predictions. What you're seeing right now is the dataset of a real life company. I have uploaded some information to my Bizagi Cloud, and this information is about the customers, their products, and the time that they spent with the company before leaving. I have included in the real-life example, in the sales representative information, the exact same attributes that you're seeing here. So that was a very short introduction to the datasets, but let us move to the Artificial Intelligence Manager. I'm going to click, as you can see, I have several models. In these models, I have several experiments. I'm going to use especially this one. So right now, you are seeing the configuration of an artificial intelligence model that I have plugged in to the mentioned datasets. The very first step that we have here is to select what we are going to predict. So of course, we will be predicting the tenure in years out of all the attributes that we had in the datasets. After this selection, we are going to choose which attributes will help us in the prediction. We will see them all, but maybe I will leave out the customer ID, because this one is very particular for each user, so it will not add into the entire prediction of the behavior of our customers. After the selection in Bizagi is ready, I have to click the train the model. So Bizagi has automatically creating a model predicting the tenure in years for every new request. The model here is also showing us an accuracy that it indicates how good it is. The accuracy can be of 2 types. it can be a percentage of how good it is when predicting categorical attributes, like a Boolean, for example. We get 90% accurate, 97% accurate. But in this case, we are predicting a non-categorical value. We're predicting years, a number. So we get a standard error. This model is giving us 1.26 days error. If we are pleased with the accuracy, we go ahead and publish the model. And this publishing will give me the tool that I can then plug in to my development environment. The tool is called a connector. This connector relies on REST services to send and receive the data from the artificial intelligence via the REST integration layer. It's important to mention that since it is displaying REST services, we can plug it in to any other system, not only Bizagi, any system that speaks REST language. So now I have downloaded the connector, and using this access key, I have plugged it in to my development environment. This is Bizagi Studio. Bizagi Studio is where we automate our processes. So I have automated a very simple process, the one that you saw in the work portal of the sales representative. I have the first activity where I include the customer information. That information then travels in the second activity, that is an automatic task, to the artificial intelligence service, and then we get the result. So let us see how I have plugged in the connector. This is our connector wizard. It is very intuitive to use. It is just a matter of mapping in inputs and outputs with a drag and drop functionality. So the first step is to map the inputs. So we are sending Bizagi data on the left to the artificial intelligence service on the right, just dragging and dropping. Let us close this. And then we map the outputs. That will be the prediction, of course, the tenure in years. So we will see on the left, we will have in the outputs the artificial intelligence system, and on the right, we will have Bizagi data. And I'm saving the result in the attribute tenure in years. And then that's it. We're ready. This is the behind the scenes of what you first saw in the work portal as the sales representative. But then you can be wondering, what if we are data scientists? Does Bizagi give us the tool to work with more advanced settings? So to review this, I will leave you Diego Parra.
Okay, thank you. So here we have this advanced view. And when we click here, this resembles the underlying workflow that Bizagi created automatically for us. Normally, this is the job of data scientists, but we don't need to know how to do all of this. Anyways, an advanced user can modify the parameters inside the boxes to experiment and improve the accuracy of the model. But luckily for us, Bizagi does all this stuff.
Perfect. So right now, let us recap what we have seen so far. We have seen how Bizagi offers artificial intelligence features for prediction based in machine learning models. These artificial intelligence models are published and can be plugged in to our Bizagi processes. We are creating an artificial intelligence model relying on Bizagi Cloud datasets. We're using the artificial intelligence model to connect to those datasets and define the prediction. Then we publish the model, and the publishing gives us a connector. We download this connector, we install it in our Bizagi Studio, the development environment for our automation of processes, mapping inputs and outputs, and that's it. We just enjoy.
Wow. Thank you, Andrea and Diego. That was an incredible showcase of what we can achieve. And by the way, everyone, Andrea is not a technical user, as she stated up front, and yet she created that entire demo herself. So I think she should be very proud of that.
Thank you.
We have a few minutes left, and obviously a huge part of our community hangout is the ability for you to ask questions about what we've shown you. If you have any questions, as I said before, please add them into the Go to Meeting questions area. Let's have a look and see what we have now. So we do have one question on the screen. It's in Spanish, which sadly isn't one of my strong abilities. So Andrea, would you be able to?
Sure.
For the beginning time.
Oh, they were asking at what time does the presentation start?
Ah, okay.
That's in Spanish.
Right. Okay. So we move on to another question that we have then. So, are we relying on an external service such as Amazon to power our AI capabilities?
All right. These machine learning algorithms are widely known. So we decided to do our own implementation in order to have the better integration with our own Bizagi. But with connectors, it is possible to integrate our service with any external machine learning service like Amazon, Google, Azure, things like that.
Okay, that's interesting. And we have another question here. So, how does the model actually learn?
Do you want to take that one?
Yeah. Can you show me the workflow, please?
Yes, the workflow. Hold on. Here.
Okay. Basically, this is the workflow that a standard machine learning algorithm uses. So first, we need a data source. But sometimes the data is not properly in every row column, so we perform a clean data. So we take out the null values and things like that. Then we need to perform some kind of encoding because the machine learning algorithms prefer data that is only 1 or 0. So if we have a country, we convert to a number, or we can create a separate column, things like that. But after that, we need to split the data. Normally, we take 70% just to train the model with any machine learning algorithm, and the machine learning algorithm, as a result, give us some model. But if we want to know if the model is good or not, we need to validate the model. So we take the rest of the data, in this case the 3%, and we apply the model to every row. So we can realize if we have a good accuracy or a good standard error. And that's what we do behind the scenes.
Okay. That's pretty good. So the next question we have is, how can you guarantee the security of the data that is traveling to and from the data sets, given it's in our cloud infrastructure?
Okay, I will take that one. So our Bizagi Cloud offering gives each customer an isolated private environment. So it is created in the data center that is closest to where the customer is located and is completely segregated and unique. So on top of that, we're using the whole Azure Security Service, and we're ensuring complete security in the data sets and the AI offering.
Okay, that's pretty good. So at the moment, we don't have any other questions in the panel. So unless anyone has any last-minute things that they'd like to raise with us, we will wrap up now. There will be, obviously, this is a continuing series of Hangouts, so please stay tuned for the topic and date of our next Hangout. But on that note, thank you very much, everyone, and thank you for your time today. I hope you've learned something from what we've presented to you.
Thank you, everyone. Goodbye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.